Here it is. It's the big one. It is the review for Toll the Hounds by Steven Erikson. That's all I gotta say. Whoa. Holy moly. This is the one. This is like first of all, it's literally the biggest book. Even though like it has the most pages out of any novel in the Malazan Empire. Book of the Malazan universe, Empire, Book of the Fallen, Path to Ascendancy. It's just the biggest one, right? And in being the biggest one, it is also the one that I've thought about the most. I remember, I'll show the picture if I have it, if I can find it. But I took a picture when I first started getting into the series over a year ago now, and this one is like I haven't given much thought to book 9 and 10. I was thinking about this one. I was reading like book 3 and book 2, and I was like, I can't even imagine myself getting to this. And now, having read it, having been through this whole thing, it was so worth it. It was so worth it. People always ask, is this series, is that series worth it? Malazan is worth it. By far worth it. Read this book series. It has just everything you could want. It has tragedy. It has battles. It has magic. It has dragons. It has dark lords. It has, oddly enough, it has like a World War II stand-in. There's so much in this book. There's plot lines from book 6, book 7, book 3 that all get like wrapped up and meet their satisfying conclusion, and then some of them don't, and some of them continue on into the last 2 books. It's just so good. And there's reveals in this book, and there's plot twists, and there's just, please, if you are a fan of fantasy, I know what people say. It is a little bit big, let's say, but you have glossaries, and you have name lists at the beginning of the book. You have all the tools you need to succeed. Just read Malazan, please. Okay, so that's my plea to new readers, right? A little long-winded for a plea to a new reader who is, for some reason, watching the review of the 8th book. But that's also my review. It's so good. It's so good. It's by far my favorite one. Like, Midnight Tides is good for, I think, a lot of different reasons. It's tight. It has both sides to the Malazan world. It has the big battles, the magic, and it also has the smaller interpersonal moments. And this is more heavy on the small interpersonal moments, which is my favorite aspect of Malazan. I like when in House of Chains, when you're marching to Raraku, that's my favorite part of the book. When you're just watching these soldiers kind of exist in the world, how they bounce off each other, how they interact. That's what I like about it. And this has a lot of that, but it also has a good enough amount of like the biggest magic. Like, one problem I have with some of the earlier books is that the word conflagration didn't live up to what it was promised almost. You'll have stuff like House of Chains, for example. The ending of that book was kind of anticlimactic because you march all this way and then like it's like a normal arm, like a battle can't really be a conflagration in my book. This is a meeting of proper forces. It's forces of nature. Things are just exploding and it's insane. And it lived up to everything. There was so many good characters. Like, the dramatis personae in these books, right? These are like cast lists in this book. Like, you're like reading through it and you're like, oh, I really like that guy. I'm glad to see him back. It's like an actor. It's like literally like a cast list. You're like, oh, I like that actor. I'll go read this book. But you're reading through and it's like, whoa, that's an insane. Like, that's a stacked cast. You have everyone from Jerusalem. You have like, You have Iskralpust, the best part of the second book. You have him in here, and like it's just insane. You have a focus on the Blackwinged Lord himself, Animander Rake, and you have an exploration of his past and his transgressions and his ancient crimes that are revealed. There is, it's less of a history and more of like a rumination on what has occurred. You have Calor in this book, which Calor is like, he's always been one of my most, like, whenever he's on page, I'm like really focused in because he's just such an enigma, and he's explored in this book wonderfully. It's just, dude, if you haven't, do yourself a favor and read this book. I don't care if you have never read a Malazan book. Get here. It's worth the time you spend reading these books. And I'm not even finished the series yet. I'm in awe. It's a shocking achievement of a book. Because it's shocking in how you can just write that good for this long. In like a year, maybe a year and a half. Bro, like George R. R. Martin and Patrick Rothfuss should take notes. This is better than like some of their best. I will say that like this probably ranks, like if you comparatively to like Game of Thrones, this is probably like just under Storm of Swords. Like it's Storm of Swords is like almost nearly a perfect book. It is 9.5 out of 10, and this is like a solid 9 out of 10. I would give this 5 out of 5 stars. This is almost a 6-star book, but the scale is, you can't really break a scale that's arbitrary in the first place. So I'd give this 5 out of 5 easy 5 out of 5. It's the easiest 5 out of 5 I've ever given and ever will give, hopefully. Or hopefully not, I guess. I want more easy 5-star. Anyways. There's my thoughts. You've heard my thoughts. No need to summarize. That's my thoughts. The brimming smile on my face says it all. Yeah, so thank you for watching this video, and I hope you guys have a good day. Don't forget to like and subscribe.